My name's Jordan Wylie. I'm a former British soldier, adventurer, and also an ambassador for Frontline Children. I'm here on the Horn of Africa in Djibouti, and I've got 12 people coming to join me. This is Terres Des Extrêmes.
Djibouti is a hidden gem. It's situated on the Horn of Africa amongst some pretty volatile neighbours, and the country is unlikely to appear on many bucket lists, which for me is a great shame given its wealth of natural beauty. And with this in mind, I've planned an expedition in hope that many other adventure travellers will follow in our footsteps.
It's going to be an adventure of a lifetime. They are going to be well out their comfort zone, they're going to be challenged, and they're not going to know what's hit them.
We've reached our index. Lee is not going any further.
I didn't think before that I would get in.
I tell you, it was just there!
To be getting in with animals that are as big as me is quite terrifying.
So we're heading to the airport now in Djibouti City. We're going to pick up our 12 guests. Some of them are really nervous, they're anxious, they're excited. There's going to be a lot of emotion here. Welcome! Hey, how's it going?
I hadn't heard of Djibouti, so I had to Google it, find out where it was. I think it looks like it's an intimidating part of the world to come to because of the borders of the countries it surrounds.
Has anybody got it in a separate bag, or is it all mixed in all your... Cool. Let's go.
Majorly out of my comfort zone. I've never done anything like this before.
With no time to spare, it's time to set sail. I want to throw them straight into the deep end, literally, and provide them with one of the greatest experiences Djibouti has to offer. A dip in the beautiful warm waters off Arta Plage, which is also home to the biggest fish in the ocean between November and January, the whale shark.
Let's respect them, but also have fun and hopefully see them. Let's do it.
With our snorkels and fins at the ready, we were all on the lookout for these majestic creatures, and only 10 minutes later, we seemed to have spotted something.
Okay. We're just going to assess her showing. Alright, she's going that way, so you guys are going to jump from that side of the boat. Just wait for the okay.
We were coming in a fairly fast boat to try and keep up with the whale sharks. And all of a sudden it's like, yep, there we are. Now you've got to get in the water. You've got to orientate yourself, and then you've got to find the fish. And then the fish are going perhaps away from you. You've got to swim like crazy.
They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
Wow, what a mind-blowing experience. I don't think the group expected to get so close to them. Once all the nerves were out the way, everyone really embraced this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. What a privilege. Most of the team members are carrying GoPros, and we are trying to capture the markings on the side of the whale sharks, so we can send footage to the conservation programs that help protect these incredible species. And then just when we thought we had seen it all, we found ourselves swimming between two of them.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Terres Des Extrêmes. 2022, Djibouti.
We bothered the whale shark enough, we can then let them rest a little bit.
I didn't think before that I would get in, but there was no way I wasn't getting in there.
One of the best experiences I've ever had. It just was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
That was an incredibly successful first day. What a team. Now I want to tell the group a little bit more though about how the whale shark conservation project works.
So what we've got here then is on the whale shark, we've got this the markings of the orientation area. So the yellow dots here, they're marking the pectoral fin from to the front and the rear, and then we have the red dots, which actually is the pattern which differentiates each whale shark. So when we've identified the pattern of the whale shark, we can then identify if it moves to another area, and we take another photo and we can see if it's been here before or where it's traveled to. And what you do, you upload the image to the Shark Research Institute's database and they can analyze it. But it's really important that when you take a photo, or ideally a video, you're looking from the fifth gill slit sort of backwards, if you like, for these distinct patterns that are changing on every one. So if we look at one that we took today on one of the whale sharks that we saw, which is actually quite clear, you can actually count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the fifth gill slit, and then you can see that very clear, distinct pattern. So there we go. Everybody's up bright and early for another epic day ahead. Today we are heading further into the Gulf of Tajura. We're heading into a place called Gubat Bay, which is just through the channel there, and we're going to be looking for a beach called Faramaril.
The diving, I'm really looking forward to be getting in with animals that are as big as me is quite terrifying.
If I do that, then it's let's swim, and that's safety stop. You guys remember? Good? Excited?
Yes.
So here we are, arriving in Gubat Bay. There are some truly magical dive sites here.
The water from here.
Whilst the PADI certified divers were out having their fun under the water, I decided to take the rest of the group over to the northern edge of the bay to discover the beautiful beaches. There is so much beauty out here, but like most places in the world, it wasn't long before we found plastic waste on the beaches, and this was something we just could not ignore. It not only damages the environment, but it's also very harmful to the sea life too. And as adventurers, wherever we go in the world, we always try to leave the locations we visit better than we found them, and this was no exception. It only takes a couple of minutes, and working together with others, you can make a big difference in preserving the natural world.
I have a fear of the sight of boats. I can't remember what it's called, but it is a real phobia. There is a name for this. Who wouldn't want to be on the water there? You know, it's stunning, it's beautiful. You can't just sit on the deck, you've got to get in the water. So for me to just go down the steps by the side of that boat was a huge challenge. But in the few days we were doing it, I was swimming up to the side of the boat, getting off the boat, getting on the paddleboard, into the little other smaller boats, and I've done it, and I don't think I'll have that fear anymore. which has opened up new doors because now I'm going to go back and continue my PADI scuba diving course that I started just before I came out.
It was nice to see morale being so high across the group today, but I still have one final challenge in store for all the divers in the group, and this will be an experience like no other.
Absolutely nervous.
After 20 minutes or so of night diving, the team have just returned, and Lee seems very emotional at this moment. He's taking himself off to one side. I just want to check he's okay because I'm not sure what he's thinking or feeling. I'm going to get to chat to him shortly and ask him about his dive.
It was probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
And you've done it.
Done it.
You've done it.
You know, I've done probably my 6th dive. To do a night dive.
You're making me emotional.
Fish coming into sort of my hands, into my ears, my neck. Completely different feeling to a normal dive. But it's also one of the biggest feelings that I have.
You remember when you was booking that flight, how nervous you was, and you've just become one of the very few people to have the privilege and conquer your fear.
Not just only normal diving, but the night diving.
Night diving, Horn of Africa, Djibouti. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Legend. Brilliant, mate. Top man.
Now, I feel so more confident in myself to go and push myself in normal daily stuff, which would have held me back. So I've got so much to be thankful for this trip.
Unfortunately, it's now time to say our goodbyes to this amazing crew that we've been working with for the last few days and head back to land to continue this incredible adventure.
So here we go. Next stop is La Casale. We've just done 2 days whale shark diving and snorkeling, and now we're going to the lowest point in mainland Africa. We're going to see a crater lake where it's the 3rd largest depression on Earth.
I can't help but feel good. I can't help but feel fine. Everything is in its place and everything is mine.
As one of the saltiest bodies of water on the planet, saltier even than the Dead Sea, the lake lies at the bottom of a crater at the lowest point in Africa, 155 meters below sea level. The location has been used by locals for decades to harvest salt, hauling the goods away on camelback. Every bit of ground and rock in and around the lake is coated in a thick layer of salt, and this stuff literally gets everywhere. And it can also become quite painful if you don't wash it off before you leave. So guess what? Everybody gets to experience my field shower.
Our next guest is attempting to become the first person in the world to stand up paddleboard around Great Britain. The adventurer, Jordan Wylie, is taking on the task in aid of frontline children and a mission to build a new school on the Horn of Africa.
As much as it's a Guinness World Record attempt, that's quite secondary. The main objective is to inspire hope through education to children in war and conflict zones, and secondly, in the UK, to try and inspire through the spirit of adventure.
And somehow we've managed to convince the Djiboutian government to give us a plot of land. I'm confident we can do this.
The type of buildings that the school will be is like this type of building here. Yeah, hope so. Come on.
You remember 2.5 years ago we made a promise to little Ibrahim and his friends here that we were going to build him a school, and we've just done it. How cool is that? We've got the first 100 children. Absolutely incredible. Thank you to everyone who has supported this project. We're literally inspiring hope for a better future through the gift of education, and I'm so humbled to be able to open the school today.
It's not till you get here that you can realise what a massive, massive task that was, because you don't have access to anything out here. So it's one thing to kind of have this dream and want to create something special. It's not until you get here and you see it that I think, for me, it's certainly that it really hit, like how massive that is.
It's amazing to be back here in Asala at the school. It's really moving actually to see, especially the teachers that have come here from the UK, teaching lessons on things like hygiene, dentistry, art and craft, English language, music lessons. It's amazing, and I can see how much fulfillment as well that the volunteers are getting from it. Over 100 children in school today, and that's because of the amazing, incredible, generous British public that made this happen over the last 5 years. Also got to meet the parents, which came along, which was lovely, and again quite moving. They came and shared their gratitude towards all the volunteers and the project, so really, really humbling.
Going to the school for the very first time and seeing the smiles on those children's faces, they were all awesome.
Way exceeded my expectations. I think when I was thinking last night, you make certain assumptions because you don't know, because you're going into something that's completely unknown to you, and then you realise you have to kind of change everything you thought, because when you meet the children and you see, you can really understand the difference that it makes, because us being here, because we can see some of the things you take for granted that small children can do, that our children would be able to do, that they can't. And so there's like that moment of just giving them joy and teaching them something, but at the same time thinking, okay, well actually what could we do next that will help them to be able to learn even better.
When we got there, when we stepped foot in that classroom for the first time, there was an awkward kind of few minutes because there was a massive language barrier. The kids didn't really know who we were, and we couldn't really communicate with them, but we kind of got past that and we started to really enjoy it, and the kids responded, and their little faces lit up, and that's when I realised just how worthwhile the trip was going to be, and how much of an impact it's going to have on their lives.
Just these moments, we were just finishing in that lesson, and this little boy, like tiny little boy, just got up out of his chair at the back of the room and just walked up and asked for my hand and shook my hand and then kissed my hand. And then all these kids like coming up and shaking our hands and everything and giving us hugs. It was just like, I will never forget.
After a very emotional and wholesome morning, it's time now to head to the Neem Farm for our welcome tour. The Neem Farm is an incredible agroforestry project out in the desert on the Horn of Africa. It's self-sustainable and it's not for profit. It's full of crops, wildlife and positive energy. And the manager, John Eve, tells us how the farm operates and the impact it has on helping the local community.
Planting and the gardening they've been doing, it's very, very impressive. Especially like the wee irrigation system they've got running.
After being shown by the locals how they plant their trees, we decided that we wanted to get involved. We wanted to offset a bit of our carbon footprint. We wanted to help leave the place better than we found it. And we also decided to dedicate our trees to loved ones, to remember them, or perhaps also in hope that one day, maybe our children or our grandchildren will come out here and see them for themselves. Everyone is up super early today, and I've got a big challenge in store for the team.
We went out on the camel trek, so we set off fairly early in the morning, hoping to have it completed before it got too hot. But we couldn't keep up with the pace of these nomads. So they're walking across the desert in this heat at the pace they would normally walk, which was quicker than I anticipated. It was hard. It was a very, very, very tough thing to do.
Having an itch? Yeah. You get on there? Yeah, just hold on to that one there.
Oh, we've just gone for a little walk in the desert today. We've been going for probably about 2 hours. Don't know how far we've come.
Hot, sweaty, slightly, fingers are slightly puffy, but just need to keep hydrating, keep that mentality, remember why we're here.
This is probably the most extreme thing I've ever done. So just even getting this far is an accomplishment.
Right guys, so obviously well done everyone so far. As you can see, it's pretty brutal conditions out here in the Afar Desert. This is the hottest all year round average temperatures, so you can imagine what it's like for the locals to live and work in this on a day-to-day basis. Obviously you've been feeling the heat and feeling the effects of the conditions throughout this. We've only done 3.5 miles, which isn't that far really when you consider the vast expanse of the desert. 30-40 minutes, keep going, stay strong, work as a team as you have been doing, and we'll arrive for lunch in the shade and get on some fresh cold water. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome, well done everyone, keep going.
We've got this team.
Nobody ever wants to be the first one to say, hang on, I'm struggling, you know? So, but I think we're all in the same boat and we're all feeling the same.
Probably about 2 or 3 miles to go. I was the one that was flagging right at the back, and Chris, he stayed with us all the way, and he was sort of just encouraging me to just carry on, take breaks, take drinks of water.
Got to a point, okay, we've reached our index. We've reached our point of no return. Lee is not going any further. I had to make the decision. I've got the message forward. Let's get a camel back. And that's when we got the camel, and we got Lee to the camel to be able to finish the rest of the journey.
Without him, I would not have been able to finish that.
Eventually we did get there, but yeah, it was extremely physically challenging and also psychological to just keep going that little bit more until you reach the finish line.
Yeah, we got there. We did it. I did it.
Great work, team. That was an amazing effort from everyone involved. It was great to see everybody supporting each other, and it's such a rewarding accomplishment to get to the end. And now we've got a little treat lined up for you to let you blow off some steam.
Let your crazy come out just a little bit. I can see behind your moving that you're feeling it. You don't have to hide it, you can't fight it, you're an animal. Everybody got a wild side. Yeah, you probably about to see mine. Come on, don't you think it's about time to live it up, can't get it up, of your wild side. Wild side. Everybody got a wild side. Let's live it up, can't get it up, of your wild side. Everybody got a wild side. Everybody got a wild side.
Today, the group were up bright and early before sunrise. We were going to Laka Bay, a place that straddles the Ethiopia-Djibouti border.
Seen nothing like this in my life. It's just an incredible diversity of wildlife, of ecology. You know, we've got green grass here, sort of 100 metres over there. It's barren, it's chalk, rocks, limestone. Just blows your mind.
On this trip, we've seen how beautiful it is. It's an absolutely stunning place to be. From the mountains to the deserts, to the coastline. It's a hidden gem.
Laka Bay is one of the most extraordinary places that I've ever been to. David Attenborough once described it as like visiting another planet.
So this gentleman here, Kamla Hassan, is a local tribesman, and he's told us that there is a school just over the way there, about 10 minutes from Laka Bay sort of camp, and his daughters go to the school. It was gifted from an international donor, and now it's run by the Djibouti Ministry of Education. So he's very kindly invited us to come and visit the school and his daughters and tell us what's going on. He said the school's going very well, but they're in need of, they don't want any money or anything, they just want some stationery and textbooks and the basic things that children need to learn. So he's going to take us across now to the school and we can have a look for ourselves.
I want to swing by that school today for the first time and learn a little bit more about the challenges the students face out here in the Afar Desert.
You just think how, if they were given even more, you know, these are really bright kids. But it shows that how important education is.
All they want is pens, pencils, resources to help them learn and develop, to give them hope of a better future. And I'm sure that next time we come out here, we can provide all those things to help these children thrive in very challenging conditions out here in the Afar Desert. For the afternoon, we've been invited to learn how to make bags, goods, lampshades, tables out of the plants grown on the neem farm. These very talented local women showed us their specialist skills and methods and how they make a living in the remotest parts of Africa.
This was done 18 months ago and really needs to be brightened up. So we're going to brighten it up for the children today.
We're thinking of ways to improve the rooms and kind of creating an inventory for the teachers. So when stock is low, they can reach out to us and we can ask for support in obtaining these items.
I've been kindly invited for a talk with one of the chefs from the neem farm.
In Djibouti, in the Afar Desert, the condition is tough, so we learn at young age how to survive and cook.
So this morning the team have had a real cultural experience. They've been with the local tribes learning how to capture, prepare and cook what's going to be for lunch today. It wasn't for everybody and I think it was a real eye-opener for some people and we're going to see what's delivered at lunchtime.
I feel great pride in kind of the fact that they're going to walk into school every day and have that rainbow and just put a smile on the child's faces.
We were able to gift the local children in the village of Asala football shirts from the Premier League in the UK. They were kindly donated in memory of little Jordan Banks, a little boy who loved football, he loved adventure. He was from my hometown in Blackpool. He tragically passed away last year. We dedicated today to little Jordan and we will continue to raise awareness of his memory to make sure that he is never forgotten.
The thing that I've heard so many times is that we've brought them hope and they need hope. And it's that kind of just constantly it's like we can do something that really, really matters here. And I think you see it in every child's face.
One of the best things that you can ever do in life is help other people, especially those less fortunate. It really does help make the world a better place.
Hi guys, it's Mo Farah here. Just want to wish Jordan and the team all the best. You guys are doing amazing. I hear they're heading back to Djibouti. That's why I started my journey. And I think children education is key to be able to give back and educate kids and give them the tools that they need. And thank you for everyone who's doing their part.
On the evening of our last night at the farm, all the local teenagers from the village wanted to come out and dance for us to say thank you for the work that everyone had done at the school and the impact we had all had within the local community. As you can guess, it wasn't long before we joined them on the dance floor and started to learn the African way.
It was really lovely it's to see a part of them in their dancing, but then also for them to kind of pull everybody up and enjoy it and seeing everybody just let themselves go and just being together. Yeah, it was really, really special.
We were surprised by the British Ambassador of Djibouti, Jo McPhail. She surprised us, came down with lots of drinks and some pizzas and just wanted to basically thank us all for what we've done for the Djibouti community.
I was really struck that every individual had a story to tell. Every person that's come on this trip came with certain ideas of what they were going to do, what they were going to find, and everybody was going away with something new, with a new idea, with a new friendship, with a new understanding of somebody from a different culture, with a new view of how people live in different ways. And I think for everybody I spoke to, there was something that they had contributed and something they'd taken away.
Djibouti is a land of extremes. It's a magical place that will capture the hearts of those that are willing to learn more about this little piece of the African continent. The only way we can ever really pay the world back for the kindness, the love and support that we receive is simply to pay it forward to the next generation and to those people who need our help.
What Jordan's doing with Frontline Children, really making a difference in so many ways, is inspiring.
What he's done is incredible, and that journey it's just been an amazing journey, and what he's looking at doing now, I think it's something that can be really, really developed, and for me to be part of that in the future will be amazing. You know, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I really believe that we can be doing more at home in terms of how we educate our own children to make the world a better place for them to live in for the next however many generations, and we're not teaching them the right things. At the end of it, you're giving something back to the world, and just, you know, it just encompasses everything about humanity.